Hello and welcome to a special edition of Luna's Game Room. Today we are reviewing every single racing game for the 8-bit Sega Master System. That's right, every game. I'll take a look today at 17 different racing games and tell you what's the best and what's not. So, let's get started. First off today we have an interesting class. We have the Battle Racing class. In this class, you drive along until you run into the bad guy, and you try to destroy their car. There were 3 games that came out for this type of racing game on this system. They were Battle Outrun, Chase HQ, and Special Investigators. Of these 3, only one is worth anything, but let's look at them in ranking from 3rd to 1st. In 3rd place is Battle Outrun. This game, while it does have good music and the Outrun name on it, apart from that, everything else is terrible. As you drive along, you find that it takes forever to get to your opponent. Not only that, but the 2 different types of cars that you continually see on the road always drive in front of you, continually blocking your path and ultimately hindering your progress. This isn't too bad until you get to the actual battle. Once you're bumping the enemy's car, these cars still keep coming and continually get in your way, making it nearly impossible to finally defeat the bad guy. On top of that, defeating the bad guy is hard due to the odd way the damage works. You can either bump from the side or behind, although it doesn't seem to show which one is better. Bumping from behind may at times give him more damage, or may not give him any. Same with from the side. For that, I rank this a 0. Do not play this game. If you are an Outrun fan, then by all means find a copy to complete your collection. Apart from that, don't actually play the game, as it is not worth your time. There are some nice things about it, though. Halfway through the race, you can drive up into the back of a semi and upgrade your parts. There are also 8 stages across the map. Apart from that, though, everything else is terrible. Let's move on to the second one. You should probably all be familiar with this game by now, Taito's Chase HQ. The game in itself is not that bad, however, except for one problem. It takes forever to find your opponent. It took me 4 continues before I finally managed to catch up with him. And while the graphics were nice when I was bumping into him, it still took another continue before I was able to finally defeat him. So, for that reason, I give Taito HQ the number 2 spot, and you should check out but don't spend more than 5 minutes on this game rating. Finally, we have Special Criminal Investigation by Taito. In this game, you again try to defeat enemy cars, except this time your partner can stick her head out of the moonroof and shoot. This makes it infinitely easier to take out enemy cars and their lackeys, who on level 1 at least ride motorcycles. Also, the interface is much better. You have 3 turbos, your time, speed, the distance to the enemy car, how much damage for the enemy car, and how much damage for you. I find this game not too hard, but again, not extremely easy. It was a good difficulty level. I actually had fun with this. So for that reason, I give this game number 1 on the battle racing game subgenre for the Sega Master System. And you should definitely check out this game. For the next subgenre in the racing genre, we have the motorcycle racing. And what better one to start out with than one that links the 2 genres. This one is a cross between the battle genre and the motorcycle genre, Outrun Europa. I found this game a little odd. All you know is you are chasing some thieves on a motorcycle, however police are also chasing you, it seems. There is an armor meter, a bullet meter, and what appears to be a turbo meter. I found the game to move too fast, and eventually, for some reason, I stopped moving altogether and couldn't proceed, even though I hadn't run out of time. I could not understand how to use the game nor its controls. For this, I am going to give it a probably should pass up. However, I did not give it a complete review off the bat, it is not one I would play. Next up, we have a proper motorcycle racing game, Enduro Racer. This exclusive title was Sega's answer to Nintendo's Excitebike, and boy does it deliver. It has 10 courses and is only 10 minutes long, as each course takes no more than a minute to beat. However, the courses do have a good difficulty level, and while not extremely hard, they do offer up a nice challenge. Graphics are beautiful and gameplay is very good. Overall, I rank this the best motorcycle racing game for the Sega Master System. Next, we have a game that is, well, pretty bad. It's called GP Rider, a motorcycle racing game. However, this game is a bit odd. It's split screen even in single player mode, with your opponents on the top and you on the bottom. The game does not handle very well, and it looks terrible with its odd color scheme of green, blue, and red. Overall, a thoroughly unenjoyable game. I found it to have a extremely hard difficulty level. Even at top speed, I was unable to catch up to the lead, and ran out of gas. Then, of course, how could we all forget Hang On? This extremely common title was a toned-down version of the arcade version. It is a simple game. You cannot drive off the road, and if you were to hit somebody, you would instantly blow up. It's fun, however, it lacks all of the options that came with the arcade version. One noticeable problem with this game is it seems that the road is floating above the green, like you're on an elevated highway. However, this is not the case. All in all, a game that you might want to own to complete your collection, but not the greatest to play. Next up, we have Road Rash. Now, if you've watched my channel, you'll know I reviewed Road Rash 1, 2, and 3 for the Genesis. This is a toned-down version of Road Rash 1. Now, this version is very similar and shows off the full graphical capacity of the 8-bit Sega. However, the colors are extremely mute and faded, and as such, make it a little hard to watch. One thing, however, that I personally liked, well, the tune is the exact same boring tune from the first game on the Genesis. This tune, using a different sound chip, makes it sound ultimately enjoyable. The game is the same length, it appears, and has the same options, including all the motorcycles to buy. However, I noticed using the first bike, you seem to drive especially slow, with a top speed of only 110 miles per hour. However, I rank this as the second best motorcycle racing game for the 8-bit Sega, especially if you are a Road Rash fan. And now we have a different genre, a sub-genre. We'll call this one the Buggy genre. For the first game we have Buggy Run. Now, this genre is more of a, not so much top-down, more of an isometric camera angle with small little buggies. You probably remember playing one or two of these in the arcade. And you race around. The camera always stays in one position, which is not always behind the car, and you control which way the car goes. I found Buggy Run pretty fun. Now, the controls are a little hard to get used to at first, but within 5 minutes I was able to get into the swing of things. I do know for a fact that there are 3 different courses, which I'm sure there was a lot more than that. You can earn a lot of money and upgrade your car to make it much better. All in all, a really fun game, and again, the graphics are superb for this 8-bit system, showing off full capacity. So, all in all, a very fun game to play. Next up, we have another one, an extremely popular one, called Super Off-Road. There were many different versions of Super Off-Road, and it's basically the same thing as Buggy Run. You control a little funny little car and go around the different courses. However, you can see the whole course in one screen and all the different cars. It can be a little confusing at first as to which car you are. However, I would tell you right now that you are the red car. Graphics are nothing spectacular, although for this game they don't need to be. A fun little race, and I found very enjoyable, although it is a short game. If this is your type of racing, then by all means get this game. After this, there is another interesting one that is not the best of the 3, but we'll mention it anyways. It's called RC Grand Prix. Now, this one is similar, although the graphics look a lot more bland. And you play an RC car. I found this one hard to control, and hitting the wall stops you almost completely. I played through it once and got last place, almost not making it to the finish line. The game is timed, and I believe it has several courses. However, of this microgenre, I would rank this one last of the 3 games. Next up, we have Circuit Racers. First one is F1 Championship. This game is overly terrible. Apart from its awful color scheme, there is no music whatsoever, and all you hear is the constant whining of the gears as they run through from 1st through 5th. The game was terrible and hard on the ears. I could barely stand it. This game is so bad that I give it a 0. Next up, we have the Super Monaco series, Super Monaco GP1 and GP2. These games aren't much better. Super Monaco GP1, you have split screen, even though there's only one player. Going through the game was also not much fun. It was similar to pole position. The second one is even worse. The colors are terrible, and its shifting system is awful. Not only that, you only have one opponent instead of a pack. After that, we've got World Grand Prix. Another pole position ripoff. This one is okay. I found it funny the way the car explodes into a million pieces. However, that gets old after about 3 times. This is the best one of the track racing genre for this system of the 4 available. However, if you want a really good game, get pole position. Not available for this system. Super Racing. This one I found extremely interesting and probably one of the most unique racing games on the 8-bit Sega. This one is a track racer, however it has a top-down view, and you control it similar to the earlier Buggy ones. I found this one easy to control and somewhat fun. It also seemed that there are a lot of options, including multiple tracks. This one appears to have a lot of replay value, and I rank it in one of the top 5 racing games for this system. And finally, just to touch upon them, we have Outrun and Outrun 3D. I cannot review Outrun 3D due to the fact that it can only be played with 3D glasses that came with the system, and I do not have those. You will probably not be able to see it on the monitor, however the screen is extremely jittery. And Outrun itself is a very good game. However, it is lacking in the graphics and sound department. It has one less song than the Genesis version, and the graphics are par for 8-bit systems. They are a definite own if you want the complete Outrun series. However, if you're just in it for racing, simply buying Outrun will suffice. And that's it for our reviews. Now, to help you out, here's a rundown ranking of every game I've reviewed here.